Hi all, this is Once and Future Gamer and welcome to another Pokemon challenge. Last time we took on Pokemon Yellow with a single Cubone, and this was a run that wasn't without its challenges. If you did tune in for that one, then thank you so very much. If you didn't, then the link is in the card. Today though, we're heading to Gen 5 for the next challenge, as I asked the question of whether or not I can take on Pokemon White 2 with a single Sandile and win. Sandile and its evolution line is one of my favourites in Gen 5. There's been many a time I've used Crocodile on a team. Actually, make a scratch on that. There's probably a very real argument for it being my favourite Gen 5 Pokemon line. In regards of the stats, our best is attack with 72. Our next best is speed at 65. Our defences and special attack are worst with 35 in each. 292 base stat total is the same as Munna. We've got 5 weaknesses: Fighting Bug, Water, Grass and Ice, 2 immunities to Electric and Psychic, and 4 resistances to Poison, Rock, Ghost and Dark. In terms of moves, we get a lot of physical ground and dark attacks to make use of our stab. We get a few status moves too, such as Torment, Embargo, Swagger and Scary Face. I can see Earthquake and Crunch being vital for late game. In terms of TM moves, there's Double Team that could be useful. Return, a few rock moves such as Rock Slide and Stone Edge. Hey, here's a fun fact. We can get Aqua Tail through tutoring. A lot of what we get TM wise isn't necessarily better than what we'd learn naturally. I think I can do this, you know. I think we might struggle against the Water Gym. Even the Bug Gym might be tricky. Marshall will likely be horrible given we don't get any sort of super effective counter for fighting types, which is one of our weaknesses, and I think we could struggle against Iris as well. On the plus side, the rest of the Elite Four should be pretty easy once I get there. If you disagree, then you can always comment down below. If you do enjoy what you see, then don't forget to like and subscribe. Just the rules then. In combat, I can only use Sandile in battle. Other Pokemon will be needed for HMs, but they will not be able to fight. Only held items and Pokeballs can be used in battle, but I can heal outside of battle as much as I like. Last of all, no glitches or exploits. I use the Universal Pokemon Randomizer to replace Tepig with Sandile, meaning our rival will have Oshawott, which I reckon might be the hardest for us to fight. There's probably not much in it between that and Snivy though. My first question is to look for a woman in a big green hat. How many of them can be hanging around? At least in this game, there are far few rival fights than there is in OG Black and White. Said rival does insist on following me around to find Bianca though. When I get my Sandile, I nickname her Dundee. She has the Moxie ability, which is pretty awesome, as well as the moves Bite, Leer and Rage. What isn't awesome is the nature. She has the Calm one, so less attack and more special defense. That is pretty terrible if I'm honest. This run just became harder. Anyway then, I have to fight Hugh and his Oshawott after he, and to paraphrase Homer Simpson quoting the Bible, decides to horn in on my racket and demands a Pokedex of his own. Despite the type disadvantage, Dundee beats Oshawott without taking a hit, landing 3 bite attacks, the first causing a flinch, while its only retaliation is to use Tail Whip. Time to get stronger and fast. Patrat, Lillipup and P-Dove all give attack EVs, and there's got to be some of them hanging around nearby. If I want speed EVs, Purloin is the best option. On the ranch, I encounter Hugh, who wants to fight me again after I try to give him a gift. With friends like these, right? It doesn't go well for him, as Dundee quickly bites him down. Anyway, I continue to train up that attack stat until I get bored and go after Sharon. This is a fight that usually has the potential to be somewhat tricky. Dundee uses Bite on Patrat, it survives and lands Tackle before he heals it with a potion. Another Bite takes it out quickly. One attack boost later from Moxie and he sends in Lillipup. Dundee bites down on it and it's a very quick knockout. Straightforward win. I like that. There'll be harder fights ahead though. Like the second gym maybe? It's poison type, so on the surface we should have a pretty good advantage. I'll repeat that. On the surface. So, in regards to our ground moves, Coughing has Levitate and Whirlipede is part Bug. I 5-hit the Coughing with Bite, getting a few flinches in. When it hits red health, she heals it with a super potion and I have to start all over again. No biggie. Whirlipede is an annoyance as it uses Protect a few times, but to avoid being poisoned by Poison Point, I keep hitting it with Sand Tomb over and over, getting a bit of chip damage in off the Vortex. She lands a few Venoshock attacks, but none of them are particularly painful, though I wouldn't fancy said chances if we did get poisoned. Anyway, 2 badges down, and I'm not putting the footage in, but the next bit is that part of Black and White 2 that pretty much everyone hates. Go screw yourself, studio, you know what I'm talking about. Gym 3 next then, and this is the one that we could potentially struggle with. Berg has an advantage against us, and I don't want to think about what his Livani could do. I'm right to be worried, as we do free hit Swadloo with bites, getting a flinch off, but crucially it lands a string shot to reduce our speed. When Levani comes out, it just one hits Dundee from full health with Razor Leaf, meaning that we've got to quickly leave. Bad pun, I know. I get up to level 30, Dundee even learns Crunch, so I've got a bit of extra power behind me. I'll see if this makes a difference or not. It does slightly, but not enough to matter. We still get hit by String Shot from Swadloon, even as we do 2-hit it with Crunch before Levani comes out. Moxied up, we get hit with Razor Leaf and survive on red health, but Crunch isn't enough to take it out before it drops Dundee with Cut. I make a third attempt at level 32. Keep in mind, Gen 5 experience mechanics, this takes a long time. Dundee does learn Dig, but it's probably not going to help me too much in this fight. Swadloon gets hit with Crunch and then goes for Razor Leaf, which does about a third of my health. I go for Dig to try and use the leftovers to restore some health, but it goes badly as Swadloon survives and then hits Dundee with String Shot before Berg heals it. I take it out with Return. Next is Levani, who does land Razor Leaf, but we survive on red health before hitting Crunch. It survives and eats a Citrus Berry before Levani misses Razor Leaf, crucially. We take it out very quickly with another Crunch. I go for Dig versus Dwebble to gain more health back, but it survives with Sturdy, landing a Struggle Bug before we take it out with Crunch. Thank goodness for that. Next, we've got a fight with the mysterious Colress. He begins with Magnemite and I launch a Sand Tomb at it. It has Sturdy and so narrowly survives, but the Vortex damage, I love that phrase, takes it out despite it landing a Magnet Bomb on Dundee. Clink is tougher, I land a Sand Tomb and it narrowly survives. Before I can finish it with Crunch, Colress heals it with a Super Potion. I take it out with Crunch and Dig. Next it's Jim 4 and Elisa. You'd think I'd have an easier time of this than the last one, right? Well, I taught Dundee Rock Tomb, and that move completely lays out Emolga in one hit. Flaffy is a bit of an issue. I'm leery of static paralysis, and so I try attacking from a distance with Rock Tomb. I land 2, but she heals with a Hyper Potion, striking me twice with Takedown in the bargain. I throw Caution to the wind and go for Dig, which one hits Flaffy, and thankfully we don't get paralysed. Now, Zeb Striker is faster and does outspeed us to land a Pursuit, but it does little damage to Dundee, and there's no way it survives a +2 Dig. 4 badges down. We've got the battle with Clay as the next major fight, and this does not go well. We're on the back foot immediately thanks to Crocorock, and although Dundee takes out her Evolve Foe eventually with Dig, she does get smashed with Bulldoze to reduce her speed. The two trade blows until Dundee does come out on top. We're intimidated too, so we don't hit as hard. Sandslash is a defensive nightmare as we have to hit it a few times to cause decent damage. Clay heals it but inflicts big damage with Bulldoze, Crush Claw and Fury Cutter. By the time we take it out, Dundee is hurting. Excadrill comes out and lands Rock Slide, causing Dundee to flinch before taking her out with Metal Claw. I do look to strengthen a bit more and I try again at level 43 with a brand new move in Dundee's arsenal. That move, Earthquake. It might hit that little bit harder. Second time goes better. Earthquake is nearly enough to one-hit Crocorock, even with Intimidate. It lands Bulldoze and then Clay heals it, but I 2-hit it with Return. Sandslash takes big damage from Earthquake, but lands Bulldoze and then Fury Cutter in quick succession before I take it out. Last is Excadrill. It lands Rock Slide for a flinch. It then goes to the move again and misses, as Rock Slide is wont to do, causing Dundee to one-hit it with Earthquake. Boom. We've got the PWT stuff next and 3 battles in short order. First is Hugh and it's an easy tear through as Dundee takes out Duop with Earthquake before turning into Simisage with Crunch. And finally, as Tranquil comes out, Dundee takes it down with Return. Next is Sharon, and this is a bit more of a closer fight. First is Stoutland, who intimidates right off the bat before surviving Earthquake. However, it only goes to work up, and as a result, Dundee closes in to finish it off with Crunch. Chinchino goes down to Earthquake before it has the chance to do anything other than preen slightly. Last is Watchog, and it goes down to Earthquake as well. Last is the fight with Colress. He starts with Magneton, and it goes down pretty quickly to Earthquake. I was worried it'd have Sturdy. LGM comes out next and gets one hit by Crunch before Clink is last, and a swift Earthquake later puts it down for the count. With the fight with Skylar ahead, I go to Mistletron Cave and get the TM for Rock Slide. This will be handy versus the Flying Gym Leader because it's not like we can use Earthquake. She starts with Swoobat and I immediately go into a Crunch on it, and given we're nearly 15 levels higher, Dundee goes full on Bane and promptly breaks the bat. Next is Swanner, and I go into Rock Slide, immediately one hitting it. With my attack boosted twice, I need the buff. As Skarmory comes out, I hit it with Rock Slide for just over half its health before it uses agility and goes into Steel Wing in very quick succession, dealing moderate damage before a second Rock Slide takes it out. 6 badges down. In Undella Town, there's a rival fight with Hugh. Of his team, Unpheasant is annoying as it uses Detect to avoid Rock Slide and then survives the second attempt at the attack and lands Taunt. Before I can finish it with Crunch, Hugh heals it. Crunch deals big damage though, and a second one quickly takes it out. Crunch one hits Simisage, which is handy. When it comes to Samurott, probably the most dangerous of the three, we're buff twice in our attack and one hit it with Earthquake, which avoids a messy situation. While doing some training ahead of Opelucid City's gym, I did catch myself a shiny Audino, just pointed out. Anyway, Drayden. This is an interesting fight. Druddigon comes out and I'm at my weakest at the start. I go for Rock Slide to hope for a flinch and it lands Crunch before I knock it out with Earthquake. Power up! Flygon is next, and Earthquake won't hit it, so I go for Crunch. It survives narrowly and lands Earth Power, getting a special defense drop. Flygon isn't a special attacker, so I'm not worried. Drayden heals it before I take it out with 2 more Crunchers. Power up! And when Haxorus comes out, the Moxie boost plus the level advantage means I can one-hit it with Earthquake. Final gym leader Marlon is next, and I think as a water type trainer this one could be really tricky. I need to hit hard and fast, rough considering one of his Pokemon has Sturdy. That Pokemon in question, Caracosta, is first and I immediately hit it with Rock Slide hoping for the flinch. It doesn't do much, doesn't flinch it, and Dundee immediately gets blasted with Scald, surviving with red health. Thankfully it doesn't burn us and I knock it out for about 5-6 of its health with Earthquake. Moxied up then, I face Wailord and go for Earthquake, managing to one-hit it. Another Moxie boost and then I face Jellicent and hit it with Crunch, taking it out in one hit. That could have been a lot worse. If I'd been a level or 2 lower, Scald would probably have taken me out. Story stuff next. There's been a few fights with Zinzalin throughout, but this is probably the only one worth noting. The double battle with the rival, and it's pretty much a straight shot through with Rock Slide, taking out everything in short order. Lipad survives the first Rock Slide, but goes down to an Aqua Tail from the rival's Samurott, depriving me of a Moxie boost. But it's not like it makes much of a difference. 2 Cryogonal, a Weavile, a Watchog, and a Scolipede all get Rock Slided out of existence by Dundee. Next is Colrus, and even despite a nearly 30 level advantage, I still nearly lose. Magneton and Magnezone both have Sturdy. I use Return on Magneton to break the Sturdy and get hit by Flash Cannon before I take it out with Earthquake. Magnezone, I use the same strategy, break the Sturdy with Return, get hit with Flash Cannon, take it out with Earthquake. Next is Beheeyem, and it gets taken out by Crunch. Next is Klinklang, and I could probably one-hit it with Earthquake if it didn't have an air balloon, so I have to use Return to pop it. I get hit with Giga Impact and survive on 2 HP before knocking it out with Earthquake. Last is Matang, and it goes down to Earthquake. Anyway, there's a fight with Cure and White, one which Dundee immediately goes for Rock Sliding before getting paralysed and hit with massive damage by Dragon Breath before being taken out by a second one. The next attempt, we try to Earthquake it, it survives and takes Dundee out with a crit hit Fusion Flare. Third attempt against Cure and White, Rock Slide again and no flinch, but there's no paralysis from Dragon Breath and we take it out at the second attempt with the move. Then it's the Getsis fight. Cofagrigus screws us from the start, surviving Earthquake and using Toxic, then Protect. I do take it down with the third Earthquake though. I don't want to use Crunch because of the Mummy ability. Seismitoad goes down to Earthquake. Drapion goes down to Earthquake. Toxicroak goes down to Earthquake. Hydreigon goes down to Return, but unfortunately, even with the Shell Bell delaying the inevitable, that's as far as we get, as toxic damage takes us down. So close indeed. Second attempt, I try to flinch Confargus with Rock Slide, it doesn't take, and the second attempt ends in the same way, Dundee going down to toxic damage after knocking out Hydreigon. Third attempt, exact same way, and it will probably keep happening until I either flinch Cofagrigus or it misses Toxic. Actually, I get that statement wrong because on the fourth attempt, the game decides to throw me a bone and has Cofagrigus use Shadow Ball instead, which turns out to be a fatal move for it as I go on a killing sweep, taking down Cofagrigus with Earthquake, knocking out Seismitoad, Drapion and Toxicroak with that very same move before Hydreigon and Electros go down to Return. I breathe a huge sigh of relief and move on. On to Victory Road then. I like the layout a lot more in this game than I do in OG Black and White, but before we can head on to the Elite Four, there's a final rival fight with Hugh. Unpheasant gets taken out in a one-hit crit with Rock Slide, Bouffalonte goes down to Earthquake, Samurott goes down to Earthquake, and last is Simisage, who goes down to a single crunch. I don't want to even think about how tough this run would have been without Moxie. So, as I stand at the Pokemon League, I look at my stats. Dundee is level 89, our speed is our best stat. I wish that our attack was better and that we hadn't got a reducing nature. Defence and special defence are pretty bad, so I think we will have to try this a few times. Like I said, especially when it comes to Marshall. Even Grimsley might be tricky with that Scrafty. We'll have to see. Comments on whether or not you think I can do this or not. I figure I might as well go for Caitlin first, get her out of the way. She's probably going to be the easiest one, touch wood. And I'm right. Mushana gets one hit by Crunch. As I get the Moxie boost, you can probably work out how this goes. Reuniclus gets one hit by Crunch. Sigilif gets one hit by Crunch. Finally is Gothitelle, who, drumroll please, gets one hit by Crunch. I doubt they'll all be that easy, but one down at least. I go after Chantal next. This one shouldn't be too bad, as long as I can deal with Cofagrigus with no ill effects. This one gave me real problems when I took on Black with a single B-drill, and it goes badly right from the start as Dundee misses Rock Slide and then gets burned by Will-O-Wisp. It's a gruelling battle as I know I can't win and start to crunch it, but we do take Cofagrigus down despite a full restore from Chantal, only to get beaten by Chandelure and its Energy Ball. A second attempt plays out similarly, Rock Slide missing, Will-O-Wisp burning. I do get to Go Alert this time after Chandelure misses Fire Blast, but still go down to Shadow Punch and an accumulation of damage. Third time, it goes exactly as planned. Rock Slide flinches Cofagrigus, we finish it with Earthquake. Earthquake takes out Chandelure before Crunch does for Golurk. I was expecting Jellicent to be a final Pokemon. I was surprised by the presence of Drifblim, but it still goes down to Crunch. Grimsley then, I guess. My biggest concern is Scrafty. I've been beaten by quite a few of them throughout this run. Hopefully the Moxie boost from beating its Lipard is enough to one-hit it before it starts getting violent. I think this is going to be a tough fight. Lipard lands Fake Out for minimal damage before going down to Earthquake. Next is Bisharp. I was expecting Scrafty, but okay. I one-hit it with Earthquake, and now he goes for Scrafty. With my attack boosted twice, it goes down to Earthquake in one hit. What was I worried about again? Crocodile comes out last, but even with Intimidate, it's no match for its base form as Dundee one-hits it with Earthquake. Alright then, let's go for Marshall. I wonder how many attempts we'll have to do this before we get the appropriate run of luck we need. I need probably 2 flinches with Rock Slide. One on Throw, one on Sork. Sork has Sturdy, so he can't one-hit it, and I doubt we'll one-hit Throw either at the start of the fight. It goes badly, we don't get the flinch on Throw, and it hits us with a crit Storm Throw. I go into Earthquake, but it lands Rock Tomb, and Marshall heals it before we take it out with 2 returns. Next is Mienshao, and that Rock Tomb proves fatal as it one-hits us from half health with High Jump Kick. I'm actually a level higher when I make the second attempt, thanks to going back through the previous 3 Elite Four members. Not that it makes a difference. Versus Throw, as well as Rock Tomb, I get hit by Bulldoze, so we're definitely getting outsped by Mienshao. My only hope is that High Jump Kick misses. And it doesn't. It one-hits me from full health. Another level, another go. If this time doesn't work, I have a plan. This time does go badly when I realise I forgot to put the Shell Bell back on Dundee after grinding. Come on, that was stupid. Anyway, Mienshao takes a weakened Sandile out with U-turn. I go get an item from Driftveil and then figure I'll try again. I get to level 94, fighting through the Elite Four once again. I've got 5 rare candies. I might yet have to top my levels off and throw caution to the wind. Anyway, see if this mysterious item makes a difference. It didn't this time, as I get a flinch on Throw, but it is tanky enough to survive Earthquake, landing a Bulldoze. Mienshao again, one hits us with High Jump Kick. At level 95 it's the same story, and I decide to throw that caution to the wind and go for the rare candies, hoping it'll give me the boost I need. So far that item has proven less than useful. I elevate Dundee to level 100 and this is do or die time. Our attack and speed are still our best qualities, 182 and 194 respectively. Hopefully something will give. Hopefully our Lax Incense comes in clutch and does something to Rock Tomb or High Jump Kick, because so far it has done nothing. And that level boost is enough. We don't get the flinch on Throw and it summarily reduces our speed, though Earthquake is powerful enough to take it out now. We're faster than Mienshao and one hit it with Earthquake. Next is Conkeldurr, and once again we hit it with Earthquake. Last is Soak, and I go for Rock Slide. It's been moxied 3 times and does massive damage, but it doesn't flinch and lands Brick Break before Marshall heals it. I take it out with Rock Slide and return. Phew, about time. Just a small matter of the champion battle then. I heal, pop an elixir and head off to face Iris. Hydreigon is first. If this were later in the fight, I wouldn't be concerned, but it knows Surf. I know what's coming my way. I go for Rock Slide and hope for the flinch, and I don't get it. Iris calls for Surf, and it misses, thanks to the Lax Incense. It might have done stuff all versus Marshall, but I think it might just have won me the challenge, as Druddigon goes down to Earthquake. Lapras is next, and I take it out with a single Earthquake. Next is Haxorus, and it actually survives Earthquake thanks to the Focus Sash, but she only uses Dragon Dance and then chooses to heal, meaning I can take it out quickly with another Earthquake. Next is Aggron, and I'm worried it'll have Sturdy. I hit it with Earthquake. That's a 4 times super effective move on a Pokemon over 40 levels lower and with 4 attack boosts. Anyone want to guess the damage calculations? It simply ceases to exist. Last is Archeops, who goes down to a single crunch, and that's the game. We enter the Hall of Fame and watch the end credits roll. That could have been a whole lot harder. I mean, I know Marshall was a grind at the end, but that was to be expected. I wouldn't have liked to have done this with Intimidate rather than Moxie. That ability came in clutch plenty of times throughout and made it rather smooth in sections. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed the challenge. This is my first time running a challenge in this game and it was an interesting experience. Less rival fights than OG Black and White, that's for sure. Anyway, thanks so much from the bottom of my heart for showing up to this. Tell your friends you were here first. Be sure to tune in next week for another challenge. And you know what? In honour of it being the Chinese Year of the Tiger, we're going to tackle Pokemon Pearl with a single Shinx. If you have any ideas for future challenges, then drop them in the comments section below. I'm in the process of setting up a Discord server too for this purpose. If you have enjoyed what you've seen here, then don't forget to like and subscribe. That way you'll be the first to be notified when my next video appears. 2022 is going to be a good year, I think. We'll see. By the time you see this, January will nearly be over, and I'm hoping that you're all keeping well with your resolutions. Remember, whatever you do in this life doesn't matter as long as you're happy while doing it. Anyway, we are almost out of time now, so this has been Once and Future Gamer, signing out, taking on Pokemon White 2 with a single Sandile. Take care now, have a great day, and I will see you next time. Bye bye now.